Hi there. Welcome to another YouTube video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about something that is so common and a lot of people tend to get wrong or associate different causes to it, okay? We're going to be talking about how to stop getting back pain during your exercises and what you should do to prevent it, because it is not normal, listen to these words, it is not normal for you to experience back pain after you squat and deadlift. It is not. Someone said, yes, it's normal, it's not. They lie to you, okay? That's why I'm here for me, as always, to break down the truth for you. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, if you want me to help you one-on-one, like I tell you exactly what to do, you speak to me, I speak to you one-on-one on a one-on-one basis. Link down below for online coaching, where it's really, I will help you and tell you exactly what you need to do. You can send me videos, I can send you videos back and give you feedback whenever you need motivation. I'm basically there for you. Anyway, without any further ado, let's go into the video now. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to be taking into account, first of all, squats. Okay? So I'm going to do a couple of squats first, just to kickstart the video. Okay? So that's me doing a squat, right? I think that is known to everyone what a squat is. And needless to say as well, that the first thing in order to prevent your back from hurting is having proper form, right? However, I know that there is also people that despite having perfect form, they'll still have back pain, and we'll address that in a minute. First of all, let's focus on one block and one piece at a time. First of all, let's look at your form. In order for your back not to hurt, you need to be comfortable. You need to have a natural position. And this is the reason why I don't want you to just copy someone's form that you've seen and you've heard, and listen to your body. You know, for me, I always encourage you, although I always give you tips, to always listen to your body first, okay? And I always tell you that you should always, first of all, in terms of determining what squat stance you choose, what feels the most comfortable to you. If you see some random person on Instagram saying, you should have your feet pointing outward and have a really wide stance, that is not the correct way for everyone. It could work for someone that has got, for example, long legs, okay, might feel more comfortable, but everyone's genetics and body composition is different, so it's not going to be the same for you. Okay, so stop just copying someone's workout and just learn how to listen to your body. Basically, just follow me. So I want you to, first of all, just try out a couple of bodyweight squats, focusing on your foot stance. There's different foot stances you can choose from, which I already explained in many of my other videos. There is the just narrow stance, okay, feet pointing narrow. Just try and do a couple of squats. How do they feel? Learn to listen to your body, maybe slow down in the motion. For example, for me, that doesn't really feel natural at all. My knees already are just very, very wobbly. Other variation, feet pointing outwards. We said this again. It feels a little bit better, but still not good for me. It's taking a slight wider stance, toes pointing slightly outward. That works for me. But also there is toes pointing forward, which could work for other people. Other people might even prefer even a wider sumo stance, which also will tend to target you inner thighs, aka adductors as well. So like I want you to always think before an exercise, before you always do an exercise, try out different foot positioning and see what works for you. Second thing, I always recommend actually squatting barefoot, okay? This will allow you to have a better grip on the floor, because guess what? The first point of contact with the floor is, of course, your feet. Duh, of course. So I know that I'm aware that some of you are not allowed to do it in your gym. So if you're not allowed, that is fine. But if you are, I'd rather you squatting barefoot. There is two types of squats that you might or might not know. There is the high bar and low bar squats, okay? High bar means that the bar is placed high on your traps. Low bar, it means that it's placed lower. Now, someone with longer legs, okay, will tend to lean more forward during a squat than someone with shorter legs as well. Leaning more forward during a squat also means, let's just look at me automatically, you'll be able to see. If I'm leaning more forward during the squat, what do you think is also getting the most engaged? Your back as well. Automatically your back gets also more engaged. If you keep a more upright position instead, okay, like so, it will be a more focus on your knees, okay? There is a difference. These are the two types of squats essentially that I was telling you about. The high bar will have the bar high. Let's just do it here just very quickly so that you see. High on your traps, maintaining a more upright position, chest up, less lower back, but more knee dominant, okay? Now, a low bar instead, bar is placed low on your traps, you're leaning more forward, okay? There is a more emphasis instead on your lower back. Of course, the main thing to avoid back pain in terms of form is to avoid rounding up your spine, which is basically butt winking, which I'll tell you what it is. When you try to go too low, okay, what's happening here? My spine is rounding up like that, okay? Can you see that? Almost like winking, almost like my bum is winking. So in this occasion, try not to go too low if your bum starts winking like that, okay? The stopping here is more than enough, okay? Second thing, please stop squeezing at the top. I know that this is loads of people have told you in the past, don't forget to squeeze at the top. Don't do that, because the moment you do that, see what I'm doing here? I'm also putting a lot of stress to my spine, overextended again. But let's say that you do all these things already, your form is right, you squat right to depth, etc., and you decide to use a belt, because that's the most common thing that people can think of, right? As soon as they have back pain, they think, let me just add a belt that is going to solve all my back pain problems and I'm not going to feel pain anymore, right? Wrong. The belt is there to support you when you're going really heavy. You might have seen it to power lifters that are using like a big belt when they're lifting is like 150 kilos and whatever. If you're lifting 40 kilos, 60 kilos, don't use a belt, okay? If you feel the need to use a belt, it means that something is wrong that can be fixed without using a belt, okay? And I'll tell you what it is, which is also the secret to stop feeling an exercise in your lower back, or in your back in general. Do you know how to brace? Do you know what bracing is? And I already told you in some of my videos and briefly explained it to you. Today we're going to be going into depth about what it is and how it really helps you with your back pain. Why? When you brace correctly, you fill your midsection up with air. So this part becomes really hard, fills up this section. So that means that it takes off all the pressure from your lower back and basically puts it around your midsection, and it balances you out in general, okay? So that is key for any lower back pain. When you generally experiencing lower back pain with squats or deadlifts, it means that you're not bracing correctly. If your form is right, of course, that's given that your form is right. That is the second cause, that you're not breathing and bracing correctly. I can assure you that. That's just standard. How do we learn how to brace? Let's get our little mat here. Look at me lying on the floor for YouTube, for you at the gym. So I'll put my hands away, okay? So I want you to lift up. I don't know if you can see it. I want you to just aim at filling your core with air. You can do this breathing exercise at home as well because a lot of people, when they tend to breathe first, they tend to breathe with their chest. And let's look at what happens when I breathe with my chest. What's happening here? Can you see that there is an arch forming straight away? Let's do it with my hands up, okay? It's me being straight. I'm automatically arching here when I'm breathing with my chest, putting my spine in a very uncomfortable position and also subject to injuries as well. So you need to learn how to put your chest back, okay? And only aim at filling this section, your stomach here, okay? Your diaphragm, your midsection with that, like that. So you see, nothing is moving. My spine is remaining neutral that way if I only lift up and fill up here. You see? Now, let me stand up so that you can see it as well from this perspective. To practice this kind of breathing, I want you to grab your hands, your little hands over here, okay? Place them on the side of your body like that, okay? And aim at expanding and feeling it with your with your hands and your fingers, that your midsection is expanding. Not this, remember, not lifting up of your chest. Keep this stable. So it's almost like you're feeling bloated. I'll give you like this side view so you can see my pregnant belly as well. Okay? You see? So what is happening, that while you do this, your core gets so filled up with air, it becomes so stable and rock hard, okay? So that will become the main point during your squats and deadlifts that will give you the most assistance and no lower back pain, okay? So I want you to try squatting like this, okay? So before you squat, which is when you'll have the most tension, fill up your core up with air first, so. And then exhale, okay? You don't have to hold your breath in, but as long as you fill your mother yucking core with air before you go down, that's what I want you to do, okay? So. Okay, and it will just make such a difference if you learn how to do it. So practice at home first, and then start practicing with more weight. You'll notice as well you feel stronger to lift even heavier, and you won't need the belt anymore when you're doing weights that are not that heavy. Now, if you're going heavy, really heavy, I start using the belt when I go 80 kilos, or sometimes 75 kilos onwards, okay? But below that, like, you don't really need to practice with a belt. Let's do it again with the weights, so you have a practical example of this. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm gonna breathe out with my stomach, with my midsection. Now this is for squats. Let's look at deadlifts, but this also applies to any exercise, even for lunges, when you're doing your reverse lunges, your Bulgarian split squats. Apply breathing. It's like, this is how your body keeps alive. Breathing is the most important thing when you're lifting. Let's apply the same principle when we're deadlifting now. So we demonstrated how to do it during a squat. How do we do it while we do a Romanian deadlift? Same thing. Where is the peak of the movement? When you bring the bar down, right? This is when you should have your core filled up with air, which means, again, before you descend, you breathe and get basically that core filled up with air. So we'll be doing so you breathe in, you breathe out, so breathe in, you breathe out, and then before you descend again, you breathe in again and fill that core with air. Let's apply to the exercise. Nice and easy for me, and nice and easy. As I said before, this applies to any sort of exercises that you will normally feel your lower back getting engaged. In this case, for Romanian deadlift, another tip that I can give you that engages your lower back less is not to go too low as well. Always stop the bar just here, below your knees. Don't aim to go too low because this is not a conventional, it's a Romanian deadlift. With Romanian deadlifts, you don't need to go all the way down. Also bend more at your knees. Remember that from me, you know that from my past tutorials, to bend more at your knees, to target your glutes more. Okay? Right. Hope you find this video useful for me. Leave down in the comments what you want me to go over, if you want me to go over anything in particular. But I hope this video helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, tutorials, and more useful tips from your favorite. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video for me.